What if I told you that right now, as you watch this video, something invisible is happening to your brain in exactly 300 milliseconds? Something so precise, so perfectly timed that it can hijack your attention before you even realize what's happening. And what if this same mechanism is being used against you every single day by the devices you can't put down? In this video, I'm going to reveal the hidden science behind blue light's ability to capture and control human attention. We're talking about a biological process that operates faster than conscious thought, more precisely than any technology we've ever created. By the end, you'll understand exactly how your attention gets stolen and why your brain is practically defenseless against it. But first, let me show you just how real this is. Every time you pick up your phone at night, every time you scroll through social media before bed, every time you feel that irresistible pull toward a glowing screen, you're experiencing this 300 millisecond phenomenon firsthand. The blue light bursting from these devices isn't just affecting your sleep, it's rewiring how your attention system responds to the world around you. Here's what most people don't understand about human attention. Your brain doesn't just passively receive visual information and then decide what to focus on. Instead, it operates on two distinct attention systems that work at completely different speeds. The first system, called exogenous attention, can shift your focus in as little as 75 milliseconds. That's faster than a blink. The second system, endogenous attention, takes around 300 milliseconds to redirect your focus based on conscious decisions. Think about what this means. Something in your environment can capture your attention and hold it before your conscious mind even knows what's happening. And blue light has evolved to exploit this exact vulnerability in ways that are almost impossible to resist. Deep inside your retina, you have specialized cells called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells. These aren't the same cells that help you see images or colors. Instead, they contain a protein called melanopsin that responds specifically to blue light around 480 nanometers. When blue light hits these cells, they don't send information to the visual cortex like normal vision. They send signals directly to your brain's circadian control center through a pathway called the retinohypothalamic tract. This is where it gets fascinating. These melanopsin-containing cells project throughout your entire brain, influencing everything from heart rate and pupil diameter to complex behaviors like alertness, anxiety, and mood. They're essentially a hidden communication network that blue light can activate without your conscious awareness. But here's the part that will change how you think about your devices forever. Recent research has discovered something unexpected about blue light and attention. When participants were exposed to blue light backgrounds, their ability to shift attention to external stimuli actually decreased. The blue light didn't just capture their attention, it impaired their ability to focus on anything else. This creates a perfect storm for attention hijacking. The blue light from your screen activates those specialized retinal cells within milliseconds. Your exogenous attention system locks onto the source faster than conscious thought. Meanwhile, your ability to shift attention away from that blue light source becomes impaired. You're essentially trapped in an attention loop that your brain cannot easily escape. The timing is everything. Those 300 milliseconds represent the window where your conscious mind tries to regain control. But by then, the blue light has already triggered cascading neurobiological responses that make it incredibly difficult to look away. Your brain's circadian system has been activated, your alertness has increased, and your attention has been captured by forces operating below the threshold of consciousness. And this is just the beginning of how deep this rabbit hole goes. Consider what happens during a typical evening routine when you reach for your smartphone. The moment that screen illuminates, your melanopsin-containing cells begin firing signals at rates that would make a machine gun seem slow. Within those first critical milliseconds, your brain receives a flood of information that bypasses every conscious filter you might try to put in place. What makes this process so insidious is how it compounds over time. Each exposure to blue light doesn't just affect you in that moment. It creates lasting changes in how your attention system responds to future stimuli. Your brain begins to expect and crave these blue light bursts, developing what researchers now recognize as a form of neurological dependency. The research reveals something even more disturbing about this process. When scientists measured brain activity during blue light exposure, they found that participants showed decreased delta theta activity in their frontal regions. This is the same brain area responsible for executive function, decision-making, and impulse control. Essentially, blue light was reducing their ability to make conscious choices about where to direct their attention. But the mechanism goes deeper than simple brainwave changes. Blue light exposure triggers a cascade of neurochemical responses that fundamentally alter how your nervous system operates. Your sympathetic nervous system activates, increasing heart rate and blood pressure. Cortisol levels begin to rise. Melatonin production gets suppressed even when your body desperately needs sleep. This creates what scientists call a hypervigilant state, where your brain becomes hypersensitive to visual stimuli while simultaneously losing its ability to filter out irrelevant information. You become more distractible, more reactive, and less capable of sustained focus on any single task. The 300 millisecond window becomes even more crucial when you understand how modern devices exploit this timing. Every notification, every bright icon, every colorful interface element is specifically designed to trigger these attention-capturing responses. Tech companies have invested billions of dollars in understanding exactly how to hack this biological vulnerability. Think about the last time you tried to put your phone away and focus on something important. Remember that nagging feeling, that almost physical pull back toward the screen? That wasn't weakness or lack of willpower. That was your melanopsin pathway actively working against your conscious intentions, creating what neuroscientists now recognize as an attention addiction at the cellular level. The implications extend far beyond personal productivity or sleep quality. When your attention system becomes chronically hijacked by blue light, it affects your ability to form deep relationships, engage in creative thinking, and experience the kind of sustained focus that leads to genuine accomplishment and satisfaction. And here's what might be the most concerning discovery of all. Recent studies show that people who spend significant time exposed to blue light from digital devices begin to lose their natural circadian sensitivity to environmental light cues. Their brains become so accustomed to artificial blue light stimulation that natural sunlight starts to feel insufficient for maintaining alertness and focus. This means we're not just dealing with temporary attention disruption. We're looking at a fundamental rewiring of human consciousness itself, happening one 300 millisecond burst at a time. So here we are, standing at the edge of a revelation that changes everything we thought we knew about our relationship with technology. Those 300 milliseconds aren't just a scientific curiosity. They represent the exact moment when your biological autonomy gets hijacked by forces you never knew existed. Every time you felt powerless against the pull of a glowing screen, every time you've promised yourself just 5 more minutes and lost an entire evening, every time you've wondered why you can't seem to focus like you used to, you're experiencing the real-time effects of this neurobiological takeover happening faster than thought itself. The blue light bursting from your devices isn't just stealing your attention, it's rewriting the fundamental architecture of how your brain processes the world around you. And now that you understand the mechanism, now that you know exactly how those specialized retinal cells and melanopsin pathways operate, you can never look at a glowing screen the same way again. The question isn't whether this affects you. The question is what you're going to do with this knowledge. Because once you've seen how the magic trick works, once you understand that those 300 milliseconds represent the battleground for your consciousness itself, you can finally start fighting back. Your attention is the most valuable resource you possess. And now you know exactly how it's being taken from you, one perfectly timed blue burst at a time.